David Perrussel with Lady Obscure Music Magazine, and wish to introduce Ida Haukland from the power metal band Triosphere from Norway. Ida, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so very much for having me.
And we really love to have you here at Prog Power USA. This is definitely a blessing for us to have you here. We really appreciate this.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is entirely ours.
And it's one of those things where it's been this biggest thing where I've been wanting to have you here for like about 4 or 5 years, and it's just we're really happy to have you.
Thank you so much. We are so happy. We've been paying attention to this festival for many years, so we're very happy to have you here.
So if you don't mind, I have a few questions for you here that I want to ask you, and for the audience to basically introduce them to Triosphere and to you.
Yeah.
Great. So how did you get into metal?
Well, through friends. When I was around 14, 15, introduced me to some albums. Perhaps a bit stereotypical when you talk about Norwegian metalheads, but it started with black metal.
Okay.
So a few albums that sounded really cool, and I think the whole thing really just kicked off for my part when I heard Emperor's Anthem to the Walking at Dusk. That is a really important album for me, and I can still remember so well when I heard that the first time back in 96, 97 or something.
Okay.
And I was like, what the? This is amazing! So
the epiphany of metal.
What?
I said you hit the epiphany of metal. Yes. Whenever it finally hit you.
Yeah, it really did. And of course, the general interest for music was there from before that. But I think just metal for real that moment with that album. And it's a bit weird because it's like it started with extreme metal, and then I came more into 80s heavy metal, and then power metal and speed metal. Kind of a weird chain of how the interest evolved. But just I think music in general, and it's just something about metal and the expression, the intensity that just appeals so much to me.
Good. Where and when did you learn to play the bass?
That started very much around the same time, actually. It was around when I was also 14 years old. I just decided, God damn it, I want to start a band. And I had this music lessons in school. We had the possibility to borrow guitars with us home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was a classical guitar, so I just took that with me home and just started practicing like crazy, and bought myself a guitar and started a band. And back home where I come from, I guess this is probably quite common. It was this cellar, a basement, where like 5-6 bands were rehearsing in different rooms.
Oh, wow.
So we all came to know each other really well. And one day, one of the bands came and said that we need a bass player. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll pick up the bass. That sounds cool. So it started quite early on, and I just it didn't take long for me to feel that bass felt so much more natural to me, and I just loved the whole feel of that position in the band, and to have that role in the whole foundation of the songs.
Wow.
So
cool.
yeah, so that's maybe too much info, but that's how it started.
No, that's fine. That's great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the guitar. Do you play any other instruments?
I had to play the piano a little in let's see, for you it would be high school. It's called. I think. Yeah. So, but it's been quite a few years since last time, so I can probably get back into it. But and I did actually, for a very brief period, try to learn to play the saxophone.
Oh wow, that'd be fun.
It didn't work too well. it took too much work.
Saxophone and metal, right?
Yeah. So it's for very many years. It's primarily the bass guitar and then also the guitar, actually mostly classic guitar.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. What type of bass do you play? I'm curious.
Well, I started actually. I started playing in '97, and then I bought a Washburn 5-strings guitar, quite cheap, but I've stuck with it ever since. All until for a couple of years ago. One thing led to the other, and I got myself ESP LTD bass. Because I've always thought that I played on this Washburn for so many years, it feels like a part of me. I don't want any other basses. This is the best I can have, and all that. But I realized that okay, the LTD bass, hey, it feels good. This is a really cool instrument. And right now, for not so long ago, I started to pick up a custom-made Amphi-Sound bass guitar that I got made for many years ago, but it didn't feel right. So it's been just laying in its case for too many years.
Okay.
But I figured I would pick that up and test it a bit more thoroughly, because maybe not so interesting. It has passive mics instead of active ones, which I always played, so it was a change for me. But here tonight I will be playing the Amphi-Sound bass.
Okay, gotcha. Right,
yeah,
cool.
so that is also it's always 5-strings basses, but different kinds with different kind of feel. But at least now I have 3 instead of 1.
Good. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Cool. So here's a question for you. What are your thoughts about women in metal in general? I mean, it seems to be, people have very strong opinions about this sort of thing or something like that. I'm really a good proponent for women in metal. I really think, it really brings a lot to it. And so I was just wondering, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that is a question I've been asked for as long as I've been in Triosphere, at least. And I think it's a difficult question because it's all been so 100% natural for me. There was never any fuss about it from when I started my first band in my hometown. It was very little focus on that I'm a girl. I was just a musician. And also, well, maybe I've been lucky, or maybe I paid very poor attention to what's been going on around me. But I feel that in Norway, it's not. Yeah, sure, it's different when or it can be different when it's a female-fronted band, and I think people very easily associate female-fronted metal bands with more classical skilled singers, opera singers, like Nightwish. I think everybody thinks first and foremost that. But at least now I feel it's become quite normal. I do definitely see that there are a lot of female musicians that that feel like they have to struggle and prove themselves a lot, and there's prejudice and etc. And for sure it's out there. I'm just I haven't noticed really much to it myself, directly towards myself. But I think a good musician is a good musician, just like a good song and a good band is a good band, regardless of what genre it is and what you do. But of course, vocal-wise, it's about taste. Someone will prefer a more masculine sound, and therefore won't like female singers. But I think whether you're a girl or a guy, if you're going to play in a band and you want to make something that matters, you have to care. And as long as you care, then who cares if you're a girl or a guy?
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Because I feel the same way. I really do.
Yeah.
And glad for that. So. So have you guys started on the next album yet?
Yeah, yes we have. We know we're a bit slow. We are. And we have. Unfortunately, it won't come out this year, but it will come out next year.
You guys have a title yet?
No. The title actually usually comes really late in the process, because it's we don't have it varies if the lyrics comes first or the song comes first. And right now, I don't have all the lyrics yet, so we have to see how they are in a grand total at the end, and then see both the lyrics and the general expression of the album. What title should it bear? Yeah. So we'll see.
So what is your role in the writing process? The lyrics?
Yes, all the vocal melodies and all that, and the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
I do throw in a riff now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mainly Marius Silver Bergesen who has all the makes all the music.
Mm-hmm.
But also that varies a bit. Sometimes he has just one segment ready and presents us to the rest of us, and we jam and play a bit along that to see how it evolves, what we feel it is, or it could be. Other times he has the whole song from beginning to end, at least the rough idea of it, and then we start playing it together and work out the final result.
Cool, great. So, what do you feel is important of your songs, as far as like if you're trying to actually communicate something to the fans, and say, are you actually trying to convey a message, or is it just something you're just trying to say, hey, we're up here having fun, or actually, do your lyrics have meaning, as far as for instance, say, the road less traveled or something like that, something like that. Is it trying to convey a message? Is it actually trying to say something, or what? Just want to know.
Yeah, for sure. It's a bit different because I can definitely not deny that most of the music we make for ourselves, and we're just really happy that others like it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the lyrics I write for myself. I tell a story that I can feel, or something that I felt. So a lot of the lyrics are not necessarily a message, but definitely I do have songs that I also write specifically to tell something. And The Road Less Traveled, that song specifically, is definitely one of those. Because I always really believe that if there's a will, there's a way, and you're definitely yourself in charge of whatever you make your life out to be. You can't point fingers at others if you're not happy with where you are. That is a theme. I think I built some other songs as well on that one. Have faith in yourself. Be positive. The world is full of possibilities if you just stay open towards them. And it's never too late. Also, it's never too late. You always have the chance to turn something bad around to something good if you really want to. So, and that is, I think that is a message I myself really like. So I think I now and then put it into lyrics to just try to encourage people out there.
Cool. Do you have a favorite key that you like to write in? Or does Marius do most of that?
I think it's. I really should know. I should have a specific answer to that question, actually. No, I think we have figured out probably throughout the years where things fit. And I think Marius sometimes do probably put some parts in specific keys. But I think that's also something that's always been very special for us in Triosphere, that the way we make music, the way we think, it's also effortlessly. It just fits. I don't have to, or Marius doesn't really have to make any special moves when he makes music to make it fit my voice. It just fits.
It just flows.
It just flows. So it's it just fits.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. So is Triosphere like your full-time job, or do you do anything on the side, like a day job or anything like that?
We have day jobs, all of us. We would like to do all the music, yes, and I would like to really use that as an excuse for taking long time to make albums. So now we have full-time jobs, all of us.
Okay, I figured that. So just curious.
Yeah.
What other bands would you like to work with, or have you worked in the past that you liked?
I haven't done that many collaborations. I did guest appearance on Samuel Arkin's episode. With also Tom Englund from Evergrey and Simona Mularoni from DGM.
Okay.
It was a long cast of great musicians, and that was also a progressive album. And that was a really nice experience. Also, both coming into a completely unknown songwriter who thinks completely differently from what I'm used to. That was a really interesting and fun experience.
Oh wow!
And also to take on a specific part, because this was an album. It was a whole story with characters. And I sang the part of a crazy murderous woman. It was really fun, and I think the most amazing thing with that album was that one of the songs was a duet with Tom Englund.
Oh, nice.
And I remember so very well before I started my first band that I was just beside myself with Evergrey. It was one of my. I loved that band. I loved Tom Englund's voice. So to find myself many years later doing a duet with him was just
wow.
Yeah,
that would be very nice.
It really was. So that was an amazing experience. And I haven't made up any specific ideas of others I would like to work with, but there certainly are so many amazing songwriters and musicians out there that it would be. I think if you start naming names, it will feel like I'm excluding someone. I'm afraid I will forget someone who's really important. But
cool.
Yeah, well, let's see what the future holds. I'm always open.
Great, awesome. Any other bands playing here the next couple of nights that you really want to go see?
Yes. Actually, I'm first of all going to check out Manimal.
Oh, yes.
They have a release date today.
Yes, they do.
What an excellent way to celebrate the release date and playing Pro Power.
Great.
And obviously Sons of Apollo tonight.
Redemption thing.
Redemption as well, yeah.
Speaking of Tom.
Yeah, because I was starting to think, oh God, what is the running order today? I just know that I've been looking at the. Oh, I have actually here. I think actually I want to catch a little of everyone.
Oh, okay,
because
yes.
there are so. Most of the bands I've heard of and thought, okay, that would be really cool to see them live. And then there are a couple of other bands I haven't heard of, but I've seen other, at least US people I know through Facebook and stuff, who's been really posting and marketing. Everybody has to see this in this band. It's really great. And I was like, okay, I'll go check it out.
Yes.
So, hopefully I will get to see a little of all. Looking much forward to seeing Portnoy with Sons of Apollo.
Oh, there you go. Great. Obviously, I said you're going to be working on your new album. Between now and next year, are you going to be doing any tours, any more dates besides Pro Power?
Yes, we are going out on a tour now in November.
Okay.
It's Europe, so we don't have any more US dates yet. But that's definitely something we are continuously looking into possibilities to come over and do more shows in the US.
Okay, great.
Because we really do think that it could be very good for us. We do think that the US audience they seem at least to like our music. And
I do at least. So.
Yeah. So we would find that really cool and very interesting to try to do more shows here.
Great.
But so far this year we have a tour in Europe in November with Sirenia, who are releasing a new album, and obviously next year we really hope to do more, just both festivals and tours, just as long as we can get the new album out quickly.
I understand.
So it's a lot that is connected to the next release. So we'll see, but the main thing we love about playing in a band is to be out traveling and playing live. So that's what we really want to make happen.
Great. All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time here, and it's one of those things where I've been very looking forward to seeing you here. It's amazing. When I found out about you guys about 4 or 5 years ago, it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and just basically saying, wow, it's just amazing band, and it's just as a sponsor, I've been trying to have you guys come here for years. I've been asking Glenn, please bring Triosphere, please bring Triosphere here. And finally, last year he said yes. It's like, oh, thank goodness, finally. So I'm very, very honored to meet you, and very honored to to see you here this weekend.
Thank you so very much, and thank you so very much for pitching us. Like that's how bands get around, and others are pitching them, and they're getting booked. So thank you so very much, and again, we are super excited about playing here tomorrow night. Yeah.
Great. All right, well, thank you very much, and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right.
Likewise.
Okay. All right.